We are a very new brand in the Longhorn industry, Longhorn Lesters. And I'm very excited that we've only sent off 3, or committed to sending off 3, Santoro. And now, of course, we have Prince Willie Joe and Lord Grayson, who are going to be leaving us here in the next 2 weeks. Now, listen to what I'm going to tell you. I've always strived to make sure that we do everything right so that our Longhorns never end up at the auction house, or even worse, the slaughterhouse. In saying so, by me making this video today, I'm going to share the excitement and the joy of where these 2 bulls are about to head off to in the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to ask you to think long and hard and do a lot of soul searching. If you're someone who hates me so much, I'm going to ask you politely to think deeper than just your animosity towards me, and think about the future of the Longhorn who are going to be born here on this property. And you'll have to do your part by guaranteeing that the future Longhorns will also go to equally wonderful future homes and not end up at the slaughterhouse or the auction barn. And sometimes doing your part is just staying quiet. If that makes no sense to you, it will by the end of the video. In yesterday's video, I did a walkabout talking about some of the different cows and how far along I think they are. And today I'm going to go ahead and come on out and drop off some more hay. As you can see, they've eaten down, the hay rings have all been eaten down to the point where it's hard to get in there and get to anything. And so I'm going to go ahead and take 3 more fresh rolls of hay here. And I don't know if I need to. A lot of folks would be saying, Lester, you need to save that hay till winter when you lose all your grass. And you're probably right. But here's the thing. I've been noticing the cows eating a lot on the hay. And so because of that, I want to make sure that they get whatever they need. It's cute because, as you can see, they're all beginning to walk off to do their afternoon grazing. They've been laying here in the shade for the last hour or so. Danny has walked up to get her a bite to eat out of the food buggy. They also have their water over here as well. But as you can see, they're starting to head off into a different direction. Sweet Gracie is there underneath the one of our pecan trees with her calf, her little bull calf. And they're doing great. I'm so very proud of her. She's just such a wonderful mom. But even though it's still afternoon and it's still pretty darn warm, everyone's starting to head off in that direction. You can see over here there's a couple of cows trying to get one last bite of hay before they head off for the afternoon. And so I may just go ahead and put 3 new fresh rolls out. We have plenty. We're blessed to have plenty of hay. And this is not only for this property, but also for the horses, the donkeys, and the goats over at Longhorn Lesters as well. So you guys join me on this little venture. It's always fun to use the tractor and put hay out. I am using a small red tractor. We've discovered that using the big tractor is easier for doing jobs like mowing. Well, let's just be honest. That darn batwing mower is too heavy. It's too darn hard to get on and off. And so we're not using the little red tractor much. I will go ahead and just keep it over here and use it for my hay because it's so nimble. The darn thing is just so darn nimble. Guys, you can whip in and whip out of spots very, very, very easily. And I'm not on it much, but to grab a roll of hay and stick it out is just so very easy. And this tractor does great for stuff like that. Okay, I think they call it a method to the madness. In case you're wondering why I left all of the hay rolls setting up right and not leaned over on their side, it's because it'll be a lot easier to come over here and cut the string, or the net in this case, and pull that netting off. Because with the hay roll setting like a roll of toilet paper upright, I just pull the hay net off around it and it all comes out of there. If I was to have set the roll of toilet paper on its side and I cut it, I can only get what's over the top. I will not be able to pull out that's on the bottom, and that would in fact put our babies at risk of grabbing that net at some point and getting tangled up into it, getting their horns wrapped around it. So I will grab myself a box cutter and come back out and cut that netting in a few minutes. Everyone's fine for right now. They're very excited about having new hay put out. And in case you're wondering why they're eating on that first roll instead of this one over here or this third roll over here, it's simple. That one over there is in the shade, and they don't mind sharing. None of these guys have issues with each other, so they do not mind sharing. And there's 3 rolls set out, okay? So there is a method to my madness. Alrighty, that was fun. Thank y'all for doing that with me. In case you're questioning why I did not cut the rolls of hay, the net off the rolls of hay before I set them down, it's because you have forgotten that the flakes are so small. When the fella makes this hay, when he rolls it up, he cuts the hay very short. And so it really, what you have is just little flakes all bound together. If you cut that net before you get it to where you want to go with it, it's going to literally flake apart and you'll lose half the hay driving over. So no, it's just found it easier to do it the way I did it. Come back out, cut the hay, and it'll all just kind of flake into place, and the cows can eat on it as they choose to. And remember, the reason that I put the cow hay out back in separate spots around the pasture, number one, there's more cows, and you can only fit so many in a little ring there. Number two, I can't put it underneath their barn, which is we're calling the nursing home, because it takes up way too much space. And there's too many cows for that small barn already. So, like I said, there is a method to my madness, okay? And I don't mind you questioning or asking questions, but I bet you I gave you answers before you even had a chance to ask the questions. All right? Thank y'all. I did finalize some plans yesterday with the future home of both Lord Grayson and Prince Willie Joe. And I don't know if you're able to understand this or not. I'm going to guess that many of you will, and others are going to have a very hard time with what I'm about to tell you. But if anyone who chooses to follow that channel does so, I'm going to ask you not to make a fool of yourself and not to make our page look bad. Duke of Dalscone will be here for a long time. You never know for sure if it'll be a year, year and a half, 2 years, but he'll be here for a while. So you can just not think about that right now. But let me turn my camera around and get it off of selfie mode. The home where these 2 bulls will be going is going to be an amazing home for them. Like I've said before, without saying too much, they're going to be very happy. They're going to go to bed with a smile on their face many, many a night. They will have sweet dreams, yet they will never be the leaders of an entire herd. Instead, they will help through artificial insemination, they will help to spread the joy of the Longhorn breed of cattle to ranchers and farmers all over, not just this country, but across the world. They're going to be a part of an artificial insemination ag production program. Now, in saying so, listen, these are not going to be their prized bulls. They're not. Whereas Tex is our prize bull. He's our showcase. He's the bull who we made sure had the perfect bloodline. And so Tex is our prized bull, the one that we showcase. Guys, you're never going to see Prince Willie Joe or Lord Grayson on their website as their prized bull, because in fact they are our bulls. Now, yes, do they come from a wonderful offspring? Absolutely. Do not flip that hay net. Oh, that hay ring. Waylon, I'm going to ask you kindly not to do that. It ain't going to matter what I ask him. He's going to do what he wants to do. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. And when Alice... Waylon, we're having some real serious bull discussions right now. And speaking of going to bed with happy endings, Lord Grayson is guys, he's at the age where he's just, anything gets him, he's just really excited to be going to a new home. So what I'm trying to tell you is this over here. If you go to their website, you're not going to find it full of pictures of Lord Grayson and Prince Willie Joe. That's not the way it works. They're going to showcase their prize bulls, and they have 5. They have such an amazing setup and business model that they're going to showcase their Schumacher bulls. And you have to remember that Prince Willie Joe and Lord Grayson are Longhorn Leicester bulls. So they are more than happy to use them to help share the love of a beautiful marking, just a wonderful color of Longhorn. Beefy, yet still Longhorn. Yet they're not going to be showcased as their prized bulls. So don't make a fool of yourself and go to their website and wonder why they're not showcasing Prince Willie Joe and Lord Grayson. These are a part of their AI program, and it's just for their ag production team. It's not going to be a part of the sharing of the brand of Schumacher. And if you don't know what I'm saying, then it's very similar to like registered dogs or registered any animal. There are bloodlines, genealogies that can be traced back. And every once in a while, you run across a really special bull in this case. They will also showcase some of their heifers. But what they take most pride in is showcasing their bulls. And what they do is they take, the husband actually does it. He will artificially inseminate. He'll take the sperm donation from the bulls, and he will send that to folks all over the country and all over the world. And that is going to be the high dollar stuff. I'm sorry if this disgusts you or if this is something that you're uncomfy talking about, but I'm just trying to save you and save us some embarrassment. Number 2, this channel is not like ours. They're not going to sit there with you, a stranger to them, and do a question and answer. They don't do stuff like that. You're welcome to follow their channel, and you may find out some very interesting facts. They have a really unique way of video creation, but it's mostly about their business. They don't make a living off video creations the way we do. So you're not going to see the same creativity and the same entertainment in a video that they put out as what you would from us. It will be more informational and educational, obviously, but their audience is geared to people who understand the ag production part of the business and is intrigued by stuff like that. The same way you guys come to our channels because you have an intrigue for rescue animals, or you have a fascination for Roman, or you may come for a particular rescue like Chucky. That's wonderful, and we hope to bring you plenty of entertainment or edutainment hours each week through our video content. But that's not where these guys are going. They're not going to be stars of someone's video, guys. They're going to do a job. They're going to serve a purpose. And like I said, their purpose is going to be beautiful in the fact that they will have many, many, many offspring around the country and around the world. So please understand, before you go off and embarrass yourself or embarrass this channel, that you are going to be absolutely ignored on other channels when you go asking questions about, why don't I ever see Lord Grayson? Why do we never see Prince Willie Joe? Do not ruin a really wonderful business opportunity for us, a chance to collaborate with the best of the best. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't embarrass yourselves that way. Understand that I'm running this business, and this is a business move, and it's a brilliant one. I could not have asked for better for these two little bulls. But my vision for what their life and their future looks like could very well be different than what you would have imagined. You would have imagined them being the herd bull of a group of 15 to 20 females. Well, that's not going to happen. Instead, they're going to populate many, many more than that through the extraction of their sperm donations. And they're going to be fed well, and they're never going to bed hungry. And they're going to have clean, fresh water. They're going to have shelter. And they're going to live wonderful, just wonderful lives. So please, just understand that the venture that we're going to take here in the next 2 weeks is one that we're very excited about. Just please understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. You know, there's a lot of me who says, Lester, just stop talking about it. I'll be honest, there's many of you who in the comments would say, hey, don't even tell these marshmallows about your business model because they just don't get it. Guys, don't let you be referred to as the marshmallow in the group, okay? Just understand that this is business. This is part of my business. It's part of my future. And this is huge for our brand. This is huge for our brand. So in the next couple of weeks, as we talk more about the upcoming trip, please just ground yourself. And if you don't understand, then just remember that sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But I do know, and I know what I'm doing here, and these bulls are going to be all the better for it. I will allow the future owners of these bulls to talk more about what they love about them. But I'll tell you right now, it's the markings are wonderful. Everyone loves when you see white on a Longhorn. And then to have Prince Willie Joe displaying so many different markings, so many different colors, that's going to be very, very special. One of the beautiful things about the Longhorn is you never get two who are just alike. Or if you do, it's a rarity. Every single one of them is like a fingerprint or like a snowflake. They're always going to show and display different things. And these two over here, I told y'all from the first time I laid eyes on them that these guys are going to be special. And guess what? I was right. And they are. So please do not you be the reason to cause a wonderful relationship and business partnership to go awry. You were very harsh to Longhorn Rancher Jake. Very harsh. And because of that, we've never had a chance to see what Santoro has turned into. Because there's no way he's going to expose himself, his wife, his children, his friends to some of the cruel and mean things that you said about him when he come to pick up that little fella. And so I'm going to remind you again that these guys are going to a beautiful home. Don't you be the reason that we end up not being able to have future dealings with this amazing Longhorn company.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Buster.
Yeah, something like that.